Tomorrow Celtic return back to action in their first League Cup match of the 2023-24 season. In today's video we are going to discuss the major blow the club have received ahead of this clash, whilst also going over all the latest Celtic news from the last 24 hours. But first, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more Celtic content. Gustav Lagerbielke, Celtic's latest signing from IF Elfsborg, has expressed his admiration for manager Brendan Rodgers and his proven ability to develop young talent. The 23-year-old Swedish defender, who joined the Hoops for a reported fee of £3 million, is eager to work under Rodgers and contribute to the club's ambitions. In his introductory press conference, Lagerbielke spoke highly of Rodgers, highlighting the manager's successful stints at Liverpool, Leicester City and his previous tenure at Celtic. His record of developing players, young players and his achievements with former teams, Celtic the last time he was here, Liverpool and Leicester also. I know he's a really good coach, and the impression I've got so far is that he's a really good person also, Lagerbielke said on Celtic TV. Rodgers, who's known for his tactical acumen and player development skills, has a history of nurturing young talents and helping them reach their full potential. His return to Celtic Park was met with widespread approval from fans, who remember the success he brought to the club during his previous spell, including consecutive domestic trebles. His work with the players is already evident, with O'Reilly, Abada, Kyogo and Maida all impressing so far, taking their game to the next level. Lagerbielke's move to Celtic comes at a time when the club is in a period of transition, with Rodgers at the helm aiming to build a team that can compete domestically and in Europe. The young Swede is expected to be a key part of Rodgers' plans, and his words reflect an eagerness to learn and develop under the guidance of the experienced manager. Celtic defender Stephen Welsh is set to miss at least 2 months of action after suffering ligament damage in his ankle during a training ground clash on Friday. The injury comes just days after the Coatbridge-born player signed a new 4-year deal with the Scottish Premiership side. Welsh, who is a lifelong Celtic supporter, had been on a high after putting pen to paper on his new contract earlier this week. However, his joy quickly turned to frustration as he now faces a long spell on the sidelines. It is a blow for both the player and the club, which is already facing a defensive crisis, with Cameron Carter-Vickers also sidelined with a hamstring issue. With both Welsh and Carter-Vickers unavailable, Celtic will likely have to lean on both new signings Mark Nowocki and Gustav Lagerbielke in the coming weeks. The pair look like a stick-on to start against Killy tomorrow. Celtic fans have expressed their support for Welsh on social media, with many hoping for a speedy recovery. The centre-back has become a useful squad player over the past 3 years, plugging gaps when injuries occur. He would have certainly played at Rugby Park had he not sustained the injury. Despite the setback, Celtic will be eager to continue their strong start to the season and hope the boys can continue the progress we're making under Brendan Rodgers. Celtic right-back Alistair Johnston is closing in on a return to action after missing the entire pre-season period, as he was pictured back in training at Lennox Town yesterday morning. Rodgers confirmed last week that Johnston was back on the grass after undergoing surgery on his ankle this summer, but it now seems the defender has taken the next step up in intensity towards a full match return and is no longer training alone. The right-back won't be rushing to action. Celtic will want to be cautious with him. That makes a start in this weekend's cup clash against Kilmarnock unlikely. However, with a match against St Johnstone in the league next weekend and an upcoming derby against Rangers at Celtic Park, Johnston is arriving back at the perfect time. Everyone wants the Canadian fit and available for that trip to Govan. Anthony Ralston has been featuring on the right flank in Johnston's absence, and whilst the homegrown talent is a committed performer, Johnston undoubtedly provides a step up in quality on that side of the pitch. Johnston has emerged as one of the most popular members of the Celtic squad amongst fans, despite being at the club for less than a year. He's actually only made 20 appearances in total for the club, but in that time he has won 3 trophies and was an integral part of some of the last season's most important games. The sooner he is back, the better, and we all wish him well in the final stages of his recovery from the ankle blow. Speculation continues to mount over the future of Newcastle United winger Ryan Fraser, who has been strongly linked with a move to the Scottish Premiership champion Celtic. However, Newcastle United head coach Eddie Howe appears to be in the dark regarding any potential move for the player. Fraser, who's 29 years old, has reportedly fallen out of favour at Newcastle, having last played for the club in October. Since then, he's been training with the club's under-21s and has been stripped of his squad number, with new signing Tino Livramento taking the number 21 shirt. While Fraser has attracted interest from Championship clubs, including Leeds United, recent reports suggest that Celtic have launched an inquiry for the Scotland international. When asked about the links to Celtic, Howe offered a short response stating, "Not that I know of." This comment suggests that as far as the Newcastle head coach is aware, there have been no significant developments regarding Fraser's potential move to Celtic, and there is nothing imminent at the moment. As the transfer window continues, it remains to be seen whether Fraser will make the move to Celtic or another club, but one thing is clear, he won't be staying at Newcastle United, with Eddie Howe demoting him to the reserve side. The ongoing ticket allocation saga surrounding the Glasgow derby has taken a new turn, with Celtic once again declining the small allocation of around 700 tickets for the upcoming match on September the 3rd. This decision comes after Celtic declined tickets for last season's final Glasgow derby. The reason for this refusal is clear and justified. The safety of Celtic fans cannot be guaranteed at Ibrox Stadium. We have been informed that on the previous 2 visits to Ibrox, 7 Celtic fans have been injured due to being hit by glass bottles thrown from the above tier. This is a serious safety concern that cannot be ignored. When Celtic sought assurances over fan safety and requested a larger allocation back in March of this year, the conversation with Rangers did not progress at all. As it stands today, Celtic cannot in good conscience accept tickets for a stadium they refused to attend in May, as nothing has changed in regards to safety for their supporters. Rangers, on the other hand, are demanding their away tickets for the reverse fixture at Celtic Park. Celtic's stance is clear. There will be 0 away supporters inside Celtic Park until Rangers address the safety issues in their away section, a fact that Rangers seem unwilling to accept. Rangers have stated that they will write to the SFA to secure Celtic tickets through official channels. Whilst this may appear posturing by their new chief executive James Bisgrove, Celtic's position is sound. Reliable sources have informed us that Rangers are planning to install a net around the away sections to minimise the risk of away supporters being struck by objects. While this is a welcome initiative, it also highlights the fact that Rangers are aware of the safety dangers in that small away section. Furthermore, if Rangers take the matter up with the SPFL, the fact the net is going to be installed works against their argument in the short term. The net will not be in place by September the 3rd, and Celtic will only hand Rangers the allocation back once the safety of their supporters can be virtually guaranteed. This is not even going into the safety concerns or the embarrassing nature of which 700 Celtic fans need to be almost smuggled into Ibrox 3 hours before kick-off by security to make sure of their safety heading into the ground. Despite what the SPFL rulebook states, which only requires clubs to allow a reasonable number of away fans into stadiums, a reasonable number at Celtic Park for the derby in December would be 0 under the current circumstances. The safety of fans should always be the top priority, and Celtic's decision to decline their ticket allocation is a responsible and necessary action to protect their supporters. Until Rangers take concrete steps to ensure the safety of all fans attending the Glasgow derby, Celtic's stance is both justified and commendable. This entire ticket allocation saga has become a melodrama of the Ibrox club's own making. There was no sound reasoning behind cutting Celtic's old allocation, other than the fact that they could not stand the sight of the Hoop supporters and sometimes players in the stand celebrating. It's petty stuff from the Ibrox club, and has only served to diminish the unique atmosphere that the Glasgow derby is known for. Celtic fans, what do you make of Stephen Welsh's injury, and do you think this will have an impact on our upcoming fixtures this season? Yes or no? Let me know down in the comment section below. That brings us to the end of today's video, guys. Make sure you drop a like on this video and subscribe to the channel for more Celtic content. Remember, we have released our brand new Celtic t-shirts. We've got Brennan Rodgers Pope t-shirt and our Celtic Ultra t-shirts too. You can find them at celticapparel.com or just go down to the link in the description. Thank you, take care, bye bye.